In a bright town called Willow Creek, the sun shone every day. Tall trees lined the streets, and flowers bloomed in gardens. People were friendly, and everyone smiled at each other as they passed. In this cheerful place lived a young woman named Athena. She seemed happy and successful to everyone. She had a nice job in a local cafe, a cozy apartment filled with colorful art, and a circle of friends. Athena loved to joke and laugh, making everyone feel good when they were with her. However, inside Athena, there was a different story. Athena felt a heavy feeling in her chest most days. It was like a shadow that followed her. Even when she smiled, she secretly battled anxiety and stress. Athena woke up every morning to check her phone. Social media was her first task of the day. She saw pictures of friends doing exciting things and people with perfect lives. She liked many posts and wrote kind comments, but inside she compared herself to them. The pressure to be liked wore her out. She believed that her worth depended on how many likes and comments her own posts received. Her daily life seemed busy and full, but it hid her struggle. Athena woke up early, made a cup of coffee, and hurried to work. At the cafe, she greeted customers with a bright smile. She made delicious drinks and pastries, and people praised her skills. Yet, when the cafe was quiet, she felt the real truth creeping in. She often took a minute to breathe deep and calm her heart, reminding herself not to overthink. After work, Athena returned home. Her apartment was her little safe space. She often sat on her couch and lost herself in her phone, scrolling through photos and posts. She wanted to feel connected, but it never lasted. Sometimes, seeing perfect pictures made her feel awful inside. Why couldn't she have a life like theirs? These thoughts plagued her mind, and the darkness pulled her deeper into doubt. As she prepared dinner, still indoors while the outside world was bright and cheerful, Athena would pretend everything was fine. Friends asked her how she was doing, and she would answer with, "I'm good," or "Things are great." They did not see the worry hidden behind her eyes. At night, she couldn't sleep well. The noise of her thoughts kept her awake. She replayed moments of her day in her mind, wishing she could change things. The next morning brought a new routine. After checking her social media again and seeing messages and likes, she felt a brief lift in her spirits, but then quickly slipped back into despair. The cycle continued. She felt stuck. While Athena looked successful to everyone in Willow Creek, she knew that she was struggling deeply within herself. Athena needed to find a way to break free from this weight that pressed down on her and learn to see her worth without the digital approval of others. This journey would not be easy, but it was a journey she knew she had to take. One Saturday morning, everything changed for Athena. She woke up excited about her day off. She had made plans to meet her friends at a nearby park. They wanted to enjoy a picnic and have some fun together. However, as she checked her phone, Athena felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. A friend had posted beautiful photos from a party that Athena had not attended. The smiles on their faces made Athena feel alone. She started to worry more about herself and her social life. The thought of not being included hurt deeply. Athena decided to push through her feelings and go to the park anyway. As she walked, a small but painful voice in her head reminded her of everything wrong in her life. "Why can't you be happier?" it asked. "You should have more fun." Her heart felt heavy as she reached the park. When she saw her friends, they were joyful and laughing. But Athena struggled to join in. Instead of feeling happy, she felt further away from them. After a few hours, her friends noticed something was wrong. They tried to cheer her up, but Athena felt like she was behind a glass wall. She smiled, but inside she was shaking. Then it happened. Athena felt a rush of emotions, and tears began to fall. She excused herself and ran to a quiet place in the park. Once alone, she cried hard. It was a breakdown she had long kept inside. While crying, Athena realized she could no longer carry this weight. In that moment of sadness came a bright thought: maybe it was time to ask for help. She wanted to feel better and find joy again. Athena took a few deep breaths and decided to reach out to a therapist she had heard about from a friend. This was hard, but she'd come to understand how important it was to heal and grow. The following week, she visited the therapist. The first meeting felt strange but safe. The therapist listened to Athena and her struggles with anxiety and stress. Talking about her feelings lifted part of the burden she carried. Through discussing her daily life and the pressures she faced, she began to see the patterns that caused her pain. The therapist suggested simple ways to manage stress, like practicing deep breathing and journaling her thoughts. Each idea felt right, and Athena became excited. She began to learn about self-care. She started small, spending time in nature, drinking tea, and taking walks. Every little change made her feel good inside. Athena felt hopeful, like she could slowly get back to herself. Stepping out of her comfort zone felt less scary when she held on to this new strength. As days passed, Athena found little victories in her journey. Each day she wrote down something she was thankful for and spent time focusing on herself. Reflection and kindness toward her own heart became part of her routine. While this was only the beginning of her journey, she felt confident she could face the challenges that lay ahead. With determination in her heart, Athena was ready to explore her path toward emotional healing. She understood that she might fall sometimes, but she now knew how to rise again. After her first meeting with the therapist, Athena felt both nervous and hopeful. Speaking about her feelings had opened the door to her emotions. The warm light of the room felt safe, yet a storm brewed in her heart. Confusion filled her mind. She felt joy sometimes, but sadness still clung to her. Each day seemed a battle between these opposing feelings. Following her therapy session, Athena wondered if she could truly change. It terrified her to face a future that was unclear. Athena also began to realize how much pressure she put on herself. The need for social media approval was heavy, and now it felt exhausting. The likes and comments no longer mattered to her the way they used to. She understood that many of her feelings came from this need for outside validation. Facing this uncomfortable truth made her feel worried and weak. Yet, it also set her on a path to growth, pushing her to seek help more deeply. One evening, feeling desperate for more clarity, Athena picked up a self-help book. It was bright and inviting, filled with tips for managing anxiety. As she read, Athena found words that spoke to her mind and heart. The author talked about meditation and mindfulness, showing how they could help calm thoughts. Athena decided to try it, wanting to learn to quiet the storm inside her. At first, it was hard to sit quietly. Thoughts of work and old wounds rushed back to her. But she kept trying, focusing on her breath and letting go of those thoughts slowly. Each morning, Athena gave herself 30 minutes to practice this new skill. She would find a quiet corner in her apartment and sit still, breathing in and out. In those minutes, she felt a little peace. Small moments of calm rose like waves inside her. Slowly, this routine became a treasure she looked forward to every day. It gave her strength to face the outside world with a lighter heart. Alongside meditation, Athena returned to therapy weekly. With every session, she mapped her feelings and faced challenges. The therapist guided her to think about how she spoke to herself. Harsh words often filled her thoughts. The therapist taught her ways to change this talk into positivity. As the days passed, Athena started to recognize how she deserved kindness. Speaking gently to herself made her feel better each time. Sharing her feelings with friends had been hard before, but it now felt different. One evening, while having tea with her closest friend, Athena opened up about her journey. She shared the struggles, her reading, and the therapy. Her friend listened with care and support. This conversation brought a lightness to Athena's heart that she had not felt before. Athena began seeking healthier routines in other areas too. She moved more, going for walks and exploring the parks she once avoided. Nature painted a warm canvas around her, making her smile lighter. As she moved through these changes, Athena saw other emotions creeping back in still. Some days were easier, others harder. Yet she discovered that trying to heal was enough for now. She learned that peace is felt step by step, and each step reminded her that she was worthy of this change. As Athena continued her journey, she felt excited but also faced many struggles. She wanted to grow and learn to manage her emotions. One day, she remembered something the therapist had suggested: journaling. It seemed like a good way to express her feelings on paper. This idea made her hopeful, but it was also a little scary. That evening, Athena bought a simple notebook. It was bright blue and fit perfectly in her hands. She sat at her kitchen table, took a deep breath, and opened it. At first, the blank page looked so empty, and she did not know where to start. What if my thoughts are not important? She thought. But Athena pushed through that feeling and began to write. Slowly, she described her day, her thoughts, and her feelings about everything. Some days, her words flowed easily, but other days, the page remained blank for a long time. At times, frustration hit her. Writing was not as easy as she had hoped. Some pages turned into a jumble of thoughts, and she felt lost again. It was hard to face the truth about her pain and confusion. While she wanted to write about her progress, doubts quickly crossed her mind. Am I doing this right? Will I ever feel okay? These feelings sometimes silenced her as she tried to write. Still, there was a spark of hope whenever she managed to express even a little. Athena learned this was part of the journey, and each word she wrote was a step forward. As the days passed, Athena tried to combine journaling with other self-care techniques she had learned. She returned to mindfulness practice, focusing on her breath and seeking calm. One morning, during her quiet moments, her thoughts started to race again. She thought about pressures from work and worries about her friendships. The noise in her mind grew louder, and she quickly lost the calm she had worked hard to build. In moments like these, it was tough for Athena to remember that emotional regulation was a skill, not a destination. Therefore, she found herself doubting her ability to change. Will this ever get better? She asked quietly. In her heart, she knew she needed to hold on to the tiny wins she had made. Remembering them became like little lights in her mind. During therapy, she shared her challenges about journaling and mindfulness. The therapist encouraged her to think of changing her emotional response like building a muscle. It takes time and practice to grow stronger, the therapist said. This made sense to Athena. She started to understand that feeling better was a process, not just one big leap forward. Each time she struggled, she had the chance to learn something new. Athena continued to practice, giving herself permission to feel all her emotions. Sometimes they felt beautiful, and other times they felt heavy. It was okay to feel lost. Each new day gave her space to experiment more with her techniques, even when things got hard. She began journaling about these struggles too. Writing about her frustrations felt like sharing with a friend. The doubts remained, yet with each passing moment, Athena also realized she had begun the brave work of knowing herself, one small step at a time. Her journey was still unfolding, and that was something worth celebrating. One sunny afternoon, Athena faced a challenge that shook her heart. She received a message from a friend inviting her to a big party. At first, she felt excitement. This was a chance to see her friends and have fun. But as she read the invitation, anxiety bubbled inside her. Memories of past parties flooded her mind. She thought about how she often hid her feelings behind a smile. When she attended parties, she felt the pressure to be perfect. It made her want to be someone she wasn't. Athena sat alone in her room, looking at her phone and feeling uncertain. The invitation felt heavy in her hands. She thought about the friends who would be there, smiling, laughing, and posting perfect pictures online. A feeling of dread washed over her. What if they see my flaws? She wondered. The fear of judgment crowded her mind. Thoughts raced. You are not fun enough. And you don't belong. They echoed loudly, drowning her tiny voice of hope. In that moment, her internal conflict reached its peak. Athena realized the party would remind her of everything she was trying to leave behind. The voice that demanded external validation clashed with the new voice that wanted to heal. This was not just about a simple party, it felt like a test of her growth. Would she take a step backward into those old habits, or would she take a leap into self-acceptance? The next few minutes passed slowly as she battled with herself. Should she say yes to the party? Or was it better to stay alone and continue her path toward healing? All her efforts in therapy and journaling seemed distant. The comfort of her old habits tugged at her. After all, being seen was how she felt alive. Yet, appearing happy while feeling awful left a hollow space inside her. The deeper wounds from the past made it harder to make a decision. With a deep breath, Athena picked up her journal. She needed clarity. Writing allowed her to think freely. As she poured her thoughts onto the page, she searched for the truth. "Why am I afraid?" she wrote. "Is it really about the party?" She poured out her feelings and wrote about the times she felt unseen and unimportant. Her heart felt heavy, but with every word she also felt lighter. Confronting these old feelings was hard, but she needed to face them for real this time. Athena noticed the pattern of looking for approval and ignoring herself. A realization struck her: she had the power to choose. She could learn to embrace her real self without needing others to validate her. The warmth of hope began to rise. Could this be the turning point she needed? The journal page filled with her emotions reminded her that choosing kindness toward herself was more vital than trying to fit in. In a moment of courage, Athena faced a difficult choice. She picked up her phone again. This time, her decision was clear. Instead of typing a response to the invitation, she opened a new message. She texted her friend, letting them know she would not attend the party. It was time to trust herself and commit to the path of healing. A sense of calm swept over her. This choice marked a shift, a new chapter in her life. Athena took a deep breath and felt lighter within, ready to embrace who she truly was. After Athena sent her text, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. Yet, the next day at work, emotions began to surface again. She was busy making coffee and sandwiches when her colleague, Lisa, snapped at her. Lisa was in a hurry and upset about something that had nothing to do with Athena, but it stung. Athena's heart raced as Lisa's raised voice echoed in the small cafe. In that moment, doubt crept back in. A dark cloud of worry returned. "What if I am not good enough at my job?" she thought. Athena felt the urge to react. She wanted to respond with anger or retreat completely, hiding from the pain. But then she remembered the tools she had been working on in therapy. She took a deep breath and focused on her breath, calming her racing heart. Rather than letting her anger win, she decided to use self-regulation. Athena reminded herself that it was not her fault Lisa was upset. She practiced not reacting immediately with her emotions but instead took a moment to gather her thoughts. In that brief pause, Athena thought about Lisa's situation. She remembered that everyone faces tough days. Maybe Lisa was stressed about something else. Trying to see things from Lisa's perspective helped Athena feel more compassionate. Instead of feeling angry, she felt empathy for her coworker. Athena realized that Lisa, like herself, was also struggling. It made her feel connected rather than alone in her hurt. With a clearer mind, she took another deep breath. Then, she decided to talk to Lisa. "Hey, can we talk for a second?" she asked gently. The words came out with calm confidence. Athena wanted to express her feelings assertively without blaming Lisa for her outburst. As they moved to a side corner of the cafe, Athena began to speak softly. "When you raised your voice, it made me feel sad. I wanted to help, but I felt overwhelmed." Lisa looked surprised, then softened a little. Athena's gentle approach allowed Lisa to relax. It was clear that Athena was not attacking her but simply sharing how the exchange affected her. It was a brave decision that Athena made now. Being honest about her feelings felt strong rather than weak. Talking helped lift some tension between them. In that moment of connection, Lisa apologized. "I'm really sorry. I was having a rough morning," she confessed. Understanding rose in Athena's heart. They talked for a few more minutes about how work pressures could affect both of them. Their conversation became a way to support one another. Athena's ability to communicate her needs clearly opened the door for understanding and empathy. After this exchange, Athena felt a sense of achievement. She faced her internal conflict head-on by using emotional intelligence. Responding calmly, showing understanding, and speaking assertively kept her from feeling trapped. For the first time in a long time, Athena gained power over her feelings. She realized that conflict could lead to deeper bonds, not just sadness. This moment marked a significant growth for Athena. Choosing to navigate through emotions instead of hiding away slipped her closer to who she wanted to be. By taking this step, she felt lighter and more confident than before. She was on a true path toward healing and connection, ready to face any challenge that came her way. After that day in the cafe, Athena felt different. She recognized a new strength inside her. The small conversation with Lisa opened her eyes to how emotional intelligence could change her. She was learning to face her feelings instead of running away. Each time Athena faced a challenge, she felt her skills growing. A few days later, another test arrived. During a staff meeting, tensions rose among the team members. They were discussing a project that needed everyone's input, but not everyone agreed. Voices became louder, and stress filled the air. Athena felt a familiar knot in her stomach. In the past, she would have sunk into her chair, wishing to disappear. But this time, she remembered her earlier lessons. Athena took a deep breath and stayed present. As another colleague began to argue with Lisa, Athena realized the situation could get worse. Rather than keep quiet, she decided to speak up. Gathering her courage, she raised her hand and said, "I think we need to listen to each other. Everyone's ideas are important." Even she felt surprised by her own voice. It felt powerful and steady. Instead of feeling afraid, she felt strong and sure. Athena looked around and saw everyone pause, curiously. Her words seemed to create a moment of silence. It was like a breath of fresh air among the chaos. Slowly, people began to settle down and turn their attention to her. She continued, "We all want the same thing, a successful project. Let's share our views calmly." In this moment, she realized that asserting herself was a gift she could give both herself and her team. People began to nod, and they spoke one by one. Athena felt proud as she watched the team listen. Everyone finally shared their thoughts, and tensions eased. Athena knew that she had helped create a warm space for everyone. This was a huge step for her. A moment that could have spiraled into anger became a moment of growth, connection, and understanding. As the meeting ended, her colleagues thanked her for her clarity. Athena smiled, feeling a rush of joy. Finally, she understood that emotional intelligence was not just about handling her feelings. It was about lifting others and helping everyone grow. When she looked back at how far she had come, it amazed her. The discomfort she once felt in confrontations transformed into confidence over time. After the meeting, Athena took a moment to herself. She quietly celebrated the small victory inside her heart. Her journey was moving forward. The skills she had learned were becoming second nature. Every choice to respond with empathy showed her that she could change her past habits. She was no longer trapped but free. The bumps in the road became stepping stones toward the person she wanted to be. Athena left work that day with a heart full of warmth. She had faced her challenges head-on, and she knew she was growing. No matter the conflicts that might come her way, she now felt ready. Using her emotional intelligence helped her handle life's ups and downs with grace. It was a beautiful transformation, and Athena could not wait to see what's next on her journey. She was finally learning to embrace both herself and the world, forging her path in a new, refreshing light. Following her decision to heal, Athena dove into applying the techniques she had learned. With each passing day, she felt more empowered. She began each morning with meditation, allowing the quiet moments to fill her mind with peace. Sitting still and focusing on her breath helped clear away worries. Whenever her thoughts strayed to anxious feelings, she quickly brought them back. This little practice transformed her mornings from chaotic to calm. Athena also continued journaling regularly. It became a joyful and creative form of self-expression for her. Each evening, she filled her bright blue notebook with hopes and dreams. Writing about her day brought little victories to life. "Today, I felt confident at work," she wrote one day. On another, she included thoughts like, "I made time for myself." These simple entries helped her see her growth. Gradually, Athena noticed small but meaningful changes in her life. Her colleagues recognized her efforts too. The way she engaged with them during meetings shifted. She felt clear and confident, eager to share her ideas. Conversations flowed easily, and she found herself enjoying the team's time together without the heavy pressure she had felt before. As her self-worth began to rebuild, Athena felt proud of making personal choices. Part of her healing involved detoxing from social media. Athena noticed that scrolling through endless posts made her mood drop. It was time for a break. She decided to reduce her time online. At first, it felt strange, but she soon realized how freeing it was. With less time spent seeking others' approval, she began engaging more with her own life. This gave her room to admire her strengths and appreciate the world around her. She spent weekends outdoors, taking long walks in the park. The warmth of the sun on her face and the sound of birds filled her heart with joy. Athena began to breathe in fresh air deeply, feeling grateful for each moment of nature's beauty. The worries of everyday life faded into the background, making room for new good memories. Sometimes, Athena still faced difficult emotions. During those moments, she would pause and reflect instead of reacting quickly. Practicing mindfulness reminded her that it was okay to feel things deeply. Instead of battling her emotions, she learned to ride the wave, accepting them as part of her journey. This shift strengthened her further, showing her that she had the power to cope with challenges. Setting healthier emotional boundaries was another breakthrough for Athena. She started to say no when she felt overwhelmed with requests from others. This helped her protect her energy and stay focused on her own needs. It was not always easy, but each time she stood firm, she felt proud of herself. This new balance nurtured her spirit. Athena's colorful energy resonated with those around her. People praised her for being more present and happier. These comments boosted her confidence, as she recognized she was making progress. She was learning and growing every day, showing herself that this journey was transforming her mindset and emotions. Athena's story became a tale of strength, reminding her and others that growth is possible with determination and gentle care. She embraced her journey, knowing that she had the power to shape her emotional health and well-being. Hope filled her heart as she took each step forward, eager to see where this new path would lead. As Athena continued her journey, she noticed significant changes in her life. Regularly attending therapy became a cornerstone of her healing process. She entered each session with a feeling of resolve, eager to share her successes and struggles. Each meeting was a chance to uncover deeper truths about herself. She no longer saw therapy as an escape from her problems, but as a vital tool for personal growth. Talking openly about her feelings helped to lift weights off her shoulders, turning her past struggles into lessons of strength. In therapy, she learned the essential skill of establishing emotional boundaries. Athena practiced saying no when people asked too much of her time or energy. These moments of asserting herself felt empowering. It was surprising how such a small word could create space for self-care. Setting boundaries meant saying yes to herself first. This new change slowly transformed her relationships. Friends and family noticed her confidence and appreciated the time and attention she dedicated to herself. Journaling also became a strong part of Athena's routine. Every night, she would set aside quiet moments to write. On the pages of her notebook, she reflected on her day, celebrating the little victories and learning from setbacks. Writing became a safe space where she could be honest about her feelings without fear of judgment. As she read back through her entries, a pattern emerged of progress. She recognized that her negative thoughts were less frequent. The more she wrote, the more she learned about herself and her emotions. Alongside journaling, adopting mindfulness became an essential practice. Athena carved out time each day for mindfulness activities. She practiced staying present during walks, paying attention to how her feet touched the ground. The crisp air and chirping birds became her therapy. At first, it was challenging to quiet her busy mind, but with each effort she found peace. This stability became a powerful tool against her anxiety. Athena's systematic detox from social media also played an important role in her transformation. She decided to cut back significantly on her screen time, reducing her exposure to constant comparisons. Each day she limited her social media check-ins, freeing herself from the feelings of inadequacy that once consumed her. With more time available, she immersed herself in hobbies she had neglected before, like painting and reading. These activities showed her that she could find joy in her life without comparing herself to others. Gradually, improvements in her self-esteem became clear. Athena found delight in her own company, and even began to appreciate her unique qualities. The soft, negative voice in her head started to quiet, and her confidence blossomed. Each day, she recognized a little less fear and a little more strength. Coping with anxiety became manageable, profoundly changing her outlook on life. As the weeks turned into months, Athena realized how far she had come. These milestones formed a beautiful tapestry, revealing layers of emotional stability she had never known before. No longer trapped by the past, she embraced her newfound courage with open arms. Her journey was not just about showing the world who she truly was, it was about accepting herself wholeheartedly. Athena understood that the road ahead might still have bumps, but she felt equipped to handle them. Her determination to grow strengthened every step she took, making her feel not only empowered but deeply transformed. This phase of her life marked a turning point, even as new challenges emerged. Through consistent effort and love for herself, Athena had begun to rewrite her story, and the best chapters were yet to come. As the seasons changed in Willow Creek, so did Athena's life. She had grown and transformed in beautiful ways. The months of hard work paid off, and she felt like a new person. She embraced a healthier, more authentic lifestyle filled with clarity and purpose. With every passing day, she practiced self-love and learned how to find beauty in small moments. Athena established a good routine that allowed her to prioritize her well-being. She kept attending therapy and enjoyed every session. Her therapist provided support and wisdom, helping Athena dive deeper into her journey. Through these meetings, Athena developed a profound understanding of psychological wellness. She learned that mental health is not just a goal but a continuous journey. This realization filled her with strength, guiding her to make choices that were right for her. To maintain her inner peace, Athena continued to journal about her feelings and experiences. Each entry became a source of reflection and gratitude. On good days, she celebrated her victories, and on tougher days, she gently reminded herself that it was okay to feel what she felt. Journaling was a safe space where she could express everything without restriction. Athena discovered that this practice created a powerful connection with her true self. In her personal life, Athena now set clear boundaries. She knew when to say yes to opportunities and when to say no for the sake of her peace. This balance allowed her to communicate openly with friends and family. They appreciated her honesty, and their relationships deepened as a result. Athena took pride in caring for herself, realizing that self-respect lets her be a better friend. As she learned to love herself more deeply, Athena reflected on the need for internal validation. Although external approval still tempted her every now and then, it no longer defined her worth. She realized that her happiness did not depend on likes or comments online. Instead, she found value in her own opinions and self-assurance. This shift in thinking filled her with newfound confidence. Athena taught herself to appreciate her unique qualities and embrace imperfections, which made her feel authentic. With a renewed sense of hope, Athena began exploring new interests and passions. She took up painting and took classes in yoga. Exploring these things filled her heart with joy. Each creative outlet allowed her to express herself openly and freely. This passion started not only to enhance her well-being but also gave her life excitement and fulfillment. Athena was no longer just surviving, she was thriving. The challenges she once faced no longer held the same power over her. She approached life with resilience and compassion. Whenever difficulties arose, she drew from her inner strength and all the lessons she had learned. Instead of shrinking back from pain, she welcomed it as part of her journey. As the sun set on another day, Athena sat by her window, feeling the warmth inside. She could sense the peace that surrounded her. She knew that mental health required ongoing care, but the awareness she had gained made it easier to navigate life's challenges. Now, she felt ready for whatever came next. Athena's story was a testament to the power of growth, healing, and self-discovery. Her steps toward progress inspired her loved ones and those around her. She had transformed her mindset and emotions, lighting the way for others to do the same. With a heart full of hope, Athena looked forward to the future, embracing the endless possibilities that awaited her. Athena stood at the beginning of a new chapter, ready to embrace life with confidence. She felt different, stronger, and more aware than ever before. The decisions she made were aligned with her heart. Athena built relationships based on honesty and respect. Each friendship brought joy, filled with laughter and support. She found herself engaging with loved ones genuinely, without fear of judgment. This openness allowed her to connect on deeper levels, creating bonds that nourished her spirit. Healthy communication had become a vital part of Athena's life. When conflicts arose, she faced them with courage, expressing her feelings without hesitation. She practiced using I statements to communicate effectively. These phrases helped her share her thoughts clearly and compassionately. For example, she might say, "I feel overwhelmed when I have too much to do." This way, her friends understood her needs without feeling attacked. Athena's relationships grew stronger as she demonstrated this healthy style of communication. While Athena embraced her journey, she understood that mental wellness is not a destination but an ongoing process. Every day presented new challenges, and she was aware that it took practice to maintain balance. But now, she was equipped with powerful tools. Through journaling, meditation, and therapy, she kept her emotional health in focus. When stress crept back in, she had learned how to redirect her thoughts positively. Athena also dedicated time to fostering a balanced lifestyle. She created a schedule that respected her needs. Each week, she aimed to incorporate activities that brought her joy. Walking in nature became a cherished routine. The simple act of being outside filled her with peace. Being in touch with the earth helped her feel grounded and connected. In every step, Athena focused on inner peace over external approval. She withdrew less from social media and put more energy into things that truly mattered. Instead of getting lost in comparison, she encouraged herself. Athena celebrated her uniqueness, embracing her strengths and imperfections. This was not always easy, but she reminded herself that growth occurs in discomfort, and she was ready to welcome it. Athena also cherished and nurtured moments of gratitude. At the end of each day, she reflected on small successes. Celebrating wins, no matter how little, encouraged her. "Today, I shared a laugh with a friend," or "I took time to breathe deeply during a busy day," became regular notes in her journal. These simple affirmations filled her with motivation to continue growing. As the sun would rise and set, Athena remained mindful. She cherished the connection between her thoughts and feelings. Whenever uncertainty knocked at her door, she turned to her toolkit of strategies. Mindfulness and self-compassion guided her through the storms. Athena trusted that even on hard days, she could navigate life with a sense of peace. Her journey reminded everyone around her of the beauty of self-discovery and growth. Athena inspired her friends to explore their emotional health. These lessons became more than a path for Athena. They became the foundation on which she and her loved ones could stand. With courage, compassion, and renewed strength, they walked confidently into the future, knowing they had the ability to face any challenges life might bring. By choosing to invest in themselves and in each other, they discovered the true meaning of resilience and inner joy. Athena had arrived at a place of acceptance and empowerment, ready for anything that came her way.